again, Yahweh God is going to come and deliver us out of this country. Has nothing to do with us. And that we ourselves can have a platform of deliverance. Our deliverance is going to come from Yahweh, and we must prepare by obedience to the commandments of Yahweh. That's why I said, thou shalt rehearse the righteous act. So we are in our graves, and Yahweh is going to open it up. I like to go to Ezekiel chapter 34. I like to start at verse 1. And this is because Yahweh God knows that our circumstances came by those that said that they had the truth. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus said Yahweh, Elohim unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flock? Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but yet ye feed not the flock. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick. Neither have you bound up that which was broken, neither have you brought again that which was driven away. Neither have you sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have you ruled them. You say, and they have scattered, and they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they have become meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. My sheep wanders through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search out or seek after them. Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. As I live, it said Yahweh Elohim, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, because the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh Elohim, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves any more, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat to them. For thus said Yahweh Elohim, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out. See, Yahweh going to do this. And it says, as a shepherd seeketh out the flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of the place where they have been scattered in the cloudy and thick day, dark day, and I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries, and will bring them to their own land, and feed them upon the mountain of Israel by the rivers, and in all the inhabitants' place of the countries. I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountain of Israel. I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down, said Yahweh Elohim. I will seek that which was lost, and bring again that which was driven away, and will bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick. But I will destroy the fat and the strong. I will feed them with judgment. And as for you, O my flock, thus said Yahweh Elohim, behold, I judge between cattle and cattle, between the rams and the goats. Seeth it a small thing unto you to have eaten up the good pasture, but ye must tread down with your feet the residue of your pasture, and to have drunken of the deep waters, but ye must fold the residue with your feet. And as for my flock, they eat that which ye have trodden with your feet, and they drink that which ye have folded with your feet. Therefore thus said Yahweh Elohim unto them, Behold, I, even I, will judge between the fat cattle and between the lean cattle, because ye have thrust with side and with shoulder, and pushed all the disease with your horn, till ye have scattered them abroad. Therefore will I save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey. And I will judge between cattle and cattle, and I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, Yahweh, will be their God, and my servant David a prince among them. I, Yahweh, have spoken it. I will make with them a covenant of peace, and will cause the evil beasts to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness and sleep in the woods. And I will make them and the place round about my hills a blessing, and I will cause the showers to come down in his season. There shall be showers of blessing, and the trees of the field shall yield her fruit, and the earth shall yield her increase, and they shall be safe in their land, and shall know that I am Yahweh, when I have broken the bands of their yoke, and delivered them out of the hands of those that serve themselves of them. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathens, neither shall the beasts of the field devour them, but they shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid. And I will raise up for them a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumed with hunger in the land, neither bear the shame of the heathens any more. Thus shall they know that I am their God, and with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, said Yahweh Elohim. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your God, Yahweh Elohim. So we can see through this that Yahweh God, it was a very grievous thing that was done to us by the pastors, that was given to help us, to guide us back into the source of the true and righteous truth that belongs to Yahweh God. So Yahweh God has put this in place, and he says, so that we might obtain this great and wonderful, awesome gift that he has. He says in Jeremiah 31, Jeremiah 31, Jeremiah 31, verse 33. Jeremiah 31:33.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
That's right. He said he going to what? He says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, say I will put my Torah in their inner parts and write it on their hearts. And in Ezekiel, he goes back to say, in Ezekiel chapter 11, in Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 19.
And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will make the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh.
That's right. See, the stony heart will be taken out because Yahweh going to write it on a heart of flesh, so we would not be a stiff-necked and rebellious people. And in Isaiah, it says here, in Isaiah 52, verse 6.
Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doeth speak. Behold, it is I.
Praise Yahweh God. So I thank you, and Yahweh God wants you to know, as is written in Jeremiah. In the book of Jeremiah, Yahweh God, and we should be very thankful, Jeremiah 33. Jeremiah 33, verse 26. Jeremiah 23, we'll start at verse 8. Go ahead.
For Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of Yahweh, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers, for because of swearing the land mourneth, and pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their course is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane, yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, saith Yahweh. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery waves in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fallen therein. For I will bring evil upon them even the year of their visitation, saith Yahweh. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Israel to err. And I see also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also in the hands of evildoers, that none doeth return from their wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and in the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. Therefore saith Yahweh of hosts concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of God. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of Yahweh. They say, Still unto them that despise me, Yahweh hath said, Ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, No evil shall come unto you. For who have stood in the counsel of Yahweh, and have perceived and heard this word? Who have marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of Yahweh is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. I am Yahweh, at hand, saith Yahweh, and not a God afar off. Can any hide himself in secret places that I should not see him, saith Yahweh? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith Yahweh? I have heard what the prophets said, that prophecy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, and I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophecy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that hath a word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, saith Yahweh? Is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that use their tongue and say, he said. Behold, I am against the prophecy, false dreams, saith Yahweh. Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies, and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith Yahweh. And when this people, or the prophet, or the priest, shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Yahweh? Thou shalt say unto them, what burden? I will even forsake you, saith Yahweh. And as for the prophet, and the priest, and the people, that shall say, the burden of Yahweh, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall ye say, every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, what hath Yahweh answered, and what hath Yahweh spoken? And the burden of Yahweh shall be mentioned no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living God, of Yahweh, of hosts, our God. Thus shalt thou say unto the prophet, what hath Yahweh answered thee? And what hath Yahweh spoken? But since ye say, the burden of Yahweh, therefore thus saith Yahweh, because ye say this word, the burden of Yahweh, and I have sent unto you, saying, ye shall not say, the burden of Yahweh. Therefore, behold, even I will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you, and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame which shall not be forgotten.
So we will also end this with saying that in Jeremiah 33, as it says here, verse 8, and I will clean them from all their iniquities whereby they have sinned against me. And I will pardon all their iniquities whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them. And they shall fear and tremble for all the good and for all the prosperity that I procure unto it. Thus said Yahweh, against thee shall be heard. It says, thus said Yahweh, again there shall be heard in this place which ye say shall be desolate without men and without beasts, in the city of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate without men and without inhabitants and without beasts. The voice of joy, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the voice of them that shall say, praise Yahweh of hosts, for Yahweh is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And of them that shall bring the sacrifice of peace unto the house of Yahweh, for I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at first said Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, again, in this place which is desolate without men, without beasts, and in all the cities thereof shall be a habitation of shepherds, causing their flocks to lay down. In the city of the mountains, in the city of the vale, in the city of the south, and in the land of Benjamin, and in the place about Jerusalem, and in the city of Judah shall the flocks pass again under the hands of him that telleth them, said Yahweh, behold, the day cometh, said Yahweh, that I will perform the good thing which I promise unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In that day said, and in that day and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. So Yahweh God, and that is Jeremiah 33, starting from verse 8, and I like to read verse 7. And I will cause the captive of Judah and the captive of Israel to return, and will build them as at the first. So these are the promises and the blessings that our God has given us, and all these things shall come to pass. As Yahweh said, wait though it might tarry. May Yahweh have mercy upon us as he has, for he is truly a gracious and wonderful God. This is a great day in our lives that we can sit down and hear these divine and holy words and truly lift up our voice in the knowledge that pertaineth to us. This knowledge that's written in this book is our knowledge, telling us the absolute truth, causing us to go into the absolute way. What is the absolute way? Obedience to the commandments of Yahweh. There's no other way. Obedience, where he told Abraham, because of your obedience, where he was going to sacrifice his son. And this is what Yahweh asks of us. He asks of us not to lean upon our own understanding. He's asked these things so that we may prosper as a people in the consciousness and to be relaxed. He's trying to fortify us. So as these days come, we don't try to second guess God, how it should be done. No. We know that all things are Yahweh at the appointed time. He says what? He said all of this is for what? An appointed time. So may Yahweh bless us and keep us. May Yahweh have mercy upon us. And may we remember Yahweh in all that we set our hand to do.